After spending almost 2 years behind bars, Demetrius Sims says what he missed most was his family. The state of South Carolina has passed a law where drivers of mopeds must register their vehicle. Lawrence County Police Chief Sonny Letta has told me today that one of his captains, Scott Satterfield, is suspended with pay and is being investigated for drunk driving while vacationing in Myrtle Beach. He may be competing in the National Baseball Championship tonight, but 4 years ago, Alex Cunningham played here on this field. Based on the records of South Carolina Ethics Commission, incumbent Greenville County Sheriff Steve Loftus has received more money in campaign contributions than challenger Will Lewis. We have made a discovery that black bears feed on bird feed. We are down here at Travelers Rest. As you can see, it's placed too low. Officials say if you have a bird feed in the area, place them higher at a position where black bears cannot reach them. Upstate homeowner trying to renovate his house makes quite a discovery when he looks inside his walls.
Well, I came up to inspect the house. You could see them flying around the outside, and they were above the basement access door, so I started kind of realizing that something needed to be done before any work was going to get done. My first instinct was to kill them, and I started realizing they were honeybees.
Homeowner Douglas Wellborn wanted to save the bees. He called on beekeeper Kevin Sarver to help evict the tenants. Sarver says there's more than 1 million of them.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take them out of the wall, put them in our brood boxes, and take them back to our apiary. I'll have them tested with the USDA lab to make sure there's no diseases that can contaminate my apiary.
Sarver used tools to locate the bees before cutting the walls to reach and remove them, a task that might seem intimidating.
A lot of people just expect bees to attack people, but really they're some of the biggest pollinators that we have, and they're really good for the environment.
The bees are getting a new address which might have them all abuzz.
And there's a lot of tulip poplars, which are trees that the bees really like. They have nice flowers that they like to pollinate.
711 days, 2 years.
That's how long of a time Demetrius Sims spent behind bars for a burglary he didn't commit. Sims says he went to Walgreens to pick up his medication when he was arrested.
And at that point, they brought me to the county jail. And that was it. I asked the bond judge, why was I in jail? He said, you had been identified. I said, that's crazy. I couldn't have been identified, so I didn't do anything.
Sims stood accused of robbing a nearby pizza place back in 2014, and he blames the Public Defender's Office for overlooking his case.
The Public Defender's Office, the several attorneys I had, no response from none of them.
I went to the Public Defender's Office today to speak with John Maulding. He wouldn't go on camera, but he had this to say. The evidence against Mr. Sims was in the possession of the solicitor from the very beginning. It was the intention of the public defender to vigorously defend Mr. Sims on these charges. The solicitor opposed a request by the Public Defender Office for a bond reduction for Mr. Sims. This meant that he had to remain in jail until the charges were disposed of. Eventually, Sims' third court-appointed attorney met with the prosecutor to go over evidence. 10 days before his case was supposed to go to trial, the charges were dismissed and Sims left the Greenville County Detention Center an innocent man. After spending almost 2 years behind bars, Demetrius Sims says what he missed most was his family.
Oh, I miss my kids and my grandkids a lot. And I had one grandchild born while I was in here.
Sims now lives at a boarding home in Taylors, but some days it still feels like he's in prison. A tractor trailer carrying thousands of shoes overturned on Interstate 85 business southbound. It happened just after 5 a.m. on the ramp to I-26 westbound. According to South Carolina Highway Patrol, troopers closed the ramp while crews unloaded the shoes from the trailer. Just a few minutes ago, Trooper Joe Hovis said the ramp will be closed for several more hours. The driver from Covington, Georgia, was wearing a seatbelt and was not injured. He was charged with driving too fast for conditions. Highway Patrol says a 24-year-old man is charged with driving under the influence after he drove a car into the Red Roof Inn on Lawrence Road in Greenville. The motel is on Vision Court. Troopers say the man was trying to park, didn't stop, and hit the building. No one was hurt. An upstate athlete is heading to the Olympics. Greenville pole vaulter Sandy Morris is now an Olympian. The Greenville High grad managed to clear 15 feet 3 inches, good enough for second place and a spot on the Olympic team. Congrats to Morris, and what a thrill for her entire family.